Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Compare Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. If you haven't installed it yet, please refer to a separate video included in the package, and you also have access to a PDF with instructions. So to get started, go to your theme editor and navigate to the page you want to add the section, and add the section from the left sidebar. Once you add the section, you'll see here on the left side we have some blocks. On the right side we have the section settings. Let's start with the section settings. In here we have a section title and section text block. If you want to remove the title, just leave it blank. But on this case, because it's a compare section, we can add a custom title, something like why our products are better than the competition. Okay, cool. And then here we can add some optional text block. Let's say we partnered up with local businesses to bring the best to your table. Okay, cool. You also have a text block down here when you can add a custom message. But for now, I'm gonna leave it open. Okay, let's go now to the rows on the left side. And the first one, we have the header row. This header row, it's being used for putting these titles on top. Okay, so inside the row and each of the rows, we have three columns. We have the main column, or in this case, is like the feature column. We have the left side and we have the right side. In this case, we're gonna point out the ingredients of those of two different products. Okay, so we can put here in the middle ingredients, something like this. Okay, and we can select here, let's say H4. We also have a background color. We can add it here, and we can also adjust the text color. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna remove the background color. I'll leave it like this. On the left side, in here, we have the left header, which is a custom image or a header title. Okay, in this case, we have our product like this, but you can also add that image, so it's something like this. Our product, and on the right side, we have other products. So let's say we want to use others. Okay, but on this example, I'm just gonna use custom images for all of them. So I'm gonna remove this, and I'm also gonna remove this from the left side. For the ingredients, I think it will look better also to use a custom image, and I have a custom image here for the ingredients. Okay, so we remove it from here and leave it like this. You can adjust the maximum width of this image in here. Okay, if you leave it 0 like this, it will grab the maximum width of the other images. In this case, this is control on these settings. But let's start with the row settings. This header row is different from the feature rows, so it has some extra styling settings. We have the top margin, bottom margin, padding, which is the space inside the column. Okay, and we have top and bottom and horizontal. We also have the maximum width. This is controlling the width of the images, and we have it on desktop, and we also have it on mobile. In case you are using an image and also text, you also can adjust the distance between the image and the title. In this case, we don't need it, so we can leave it like this. Okay, and in here we also have the text styling options for the text on this header row. In this case, we're not using any text, so we can skip it for now. Okay, now let's go to the feature rows, and we can click on it, and we have here the main row, the main column. In here we have feature, but let's say we want to point out in the difference of these two products to put something like organic. Okay, so let's say this is the feature. On the left side on our product is organic, so we can put yes. On the right side, it is not, so we can put no. Okay, we can do something like this. Now, if we go to the other row, we can also add custom ingredients. Let's say on this one is gluten-free. Let's say on the left side is yes. On the right side, competitors they're not gluten-free, so let's put no. Okay, as you can see inside of these cells, we have also an option to add images. So in this case, let's say on the gluten-free, instead of using the text, we want to use a image or an icon. So I'm gonna add an icon here, okay? And let's say for yes and no, we're gonna also use a custom icon. So yes, we can use an icon like this. And on no, we can use an icon like this. Okay, cool. Now let's go to another row. And let's say on this one is sugar-free. Okay, so instead of using the title, I'm gonna head over and use an icon like this. Remove the title. On the left side, I'm gonna use yes, it's sugar-free, our product. On the right side, it is not. So I'm gonna use a no icon. Okay. In here we have those three options. We can either use text and image or icon, or use only an icon. Let me remove this. Okay, cool. So we have those three options. Now I'm gonna save it. And now I'm gonna go to the section settings when we can adjust other styling options. In here we have the table styling. We have the border width and the border color. Let's say we want this to be a little thicker. We can put it like this. And border color, let's say we want to be blue. Okay. We also have the border radius in here. We can leave it like that, or maybe let's say we put it like it was 20. Okay, and we have the table gap between rows. We can adjust the distance between them. Right now, by default, the gap between columns is 0. It's part of like the same row. But if you increment this, this is gonna look like this. So it's gonna separate the borders. So the border is gonna be in each of those columns. Okay, we can make this bigger, like this. Okay, cool. Now we have the table styling. This, the first option is for your custom height. If we add some custom height here, by default, it's not gonna work because we have to turn on use custom height. On default, the height will be determined by the content inside the column or the cell. But if we turn this on, we're gonna see it like this. In this case, it's not the best option to be this height because it's overflowing in here and we don't see the borders. So let's increment this to see if it looks better. Cool. We can have something like this. So this way, all the columns will be the same height. If we leave it disable, I'm sorry, we can leave it like this and it's gonna adjust accordingly to the height of the column. Okay. Down here, we have also the text styling options for the cells. In this case, we can control this and this, like all this text, not the icons. So let's say we want to use a custom font. We can do it like this. Maybe a font weight, we want to be bold. We do it like this. And the font size on 0, it will be default as your theme. But I'm gonna use something like this because I want to be, let's say, 30 pixels. Cool. Now, the line height, in this case, we don't see it, but the line height is the distance between the characters if they're stacked. Example, if the organic has another text down here, organic, you can put organic product, for example, that line height will adjust the height between those two rows of text. Okay, maybe I can show you with this. I'll show you in a bit, but in here we don't see a difference, so we can leave it at 0 for now. The letter spacing is the distance between the characters inside the same word, so we can adjust this, so add some distance in here, or we can leave it at 0, so it's default like your theme. Okay, we have here some table cell styling for mobile. Okay, and we also have some colors. In here we have the cell background color. Let's say we want the background color to be this color, like this. Okay, and the cell text color, let's put it dark. Okay, if you see here, the main column has a different one because there's a separate setting for that. So let's go to there. The main cell styling. In here, we also have an option to add an extra border width. Let's say we have 3 pixels of red. So we can adjust that instead of to override the section settings. Okay. So if you want to style that differently, you can do it. If you leave it 0, it's gonna grab the default styling from the rest of the columns. Okay. Also, we have a separate font size settings for this. In case you want to increment the size of the font, we can do it like this. So the ingredient it's bigger than the others. Okay. Actually, in this case, we also we have it as 2 lines. So I'm gonna go to the line height to adjust that. If you see here, I'm adjusting the distance between these 2 lines. Okay, so you can add something like that, or if you wanted to keep it default, let's leave it at 0. Okay. Okay, going back to the font size, you can expand this as big as you want, but for now I don't need it to be that big, so I'm gonna just leave it 0, so it's the same font as the other columns. Okay, the same with the max width. We have the max width default from whatever size we have on the other columns, but if you want to increment the size of it, you can control it here, and then this will control only the main column, which is the middle one. Okay, so let's say we're gonna keep it 25 like this. Okay, and in here we have the background color, which is different than the other cells. So I'm gonna leave it like that. It's fine. And the text color, if you see, is different from the other cells because it's selected here. But if you want to use the same, you can just remove the color from here, and then it will grab the same styling as the other columns. Okay. Down here we have the left cell styling. These settings are for styling the left side different than the other ones, the same way we did with the main one. This will override the settings on the table cell colors. Right now we have that background color from here, but if we want to be different from the table, we can select a custom color here. Let's say we want to be a little green, something like this. We can add that color. And also with the text, we want the text to be white, so we can do it like that. And also the maximum width of the images, so we can do this and adjust it accordingly. Okay, we have the same for the right side. We have the right cell styling. So in here we can do the same. Let's say we want to be maybe like a dark color like this. We can do that, and maybe the text color also white. So we can do something like that. For now, I'm going to remove these colors because I really like the existing colors. So I'm going to remove it from here and from the left side as well. Okay. This will happen the same with the main column. If I remove those colors, it will grab the colors from the cell up here. Okay. But on the main one, I want to be different. So I'm going to keep that light gray. Okay. Okay. Okay, down here we have the section styling. Okay, we have two options for the type of background. As default, we have background color. So whatever color you add here, it will be added on the back. So let's say I add a white background. Well, something like this. Okay, cool. You see here the white color. Or you can also add a gradient. Okay, so you can select here and add two colors, let's say something like this, and the other color like this. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it as white. Okay, we also have an option for add a background image. So you can select an image from your library, and let's say we want to add something like, okay, something like this. You can select it from there and you can use it as background. In this case, this image is not working that much, so I'm going to remove it and leave the background color. But you can add an image if you want. Okay, and here we have full width option in case you want to add a section like this, and control here the maximum width of the content. So maybe we can select another color instead of white, maybe something like this. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, this is controlling the content inside, but if you want this to expand all the way, you can click in here and then the content will expand 100% of the wrapper of the section. Okay, but for now I'm gonna leave it like this, and instead of full width, well, yeah, actually full width works fine for me. Okay, cool. Now in here we have some styling settings from the section title, align it to the left or right or center. We can use custom fonts and all that. We can also adjust the text block in here and add a different color, maybe black. Okay. We also have some options, text styling options for the text block down here, but because we don't have any, we can skip it. Okay, so that's it. Thank you again, and if you have any questions or run into any issues, don't hesitate to reach out to us via the support page on our website. Thank you. Take care.